Okay, this week is Parshas BaHa'aloscha. In it we have the final chapters of the dedication of the Mishkan in what is really the establishment of the religious establishment among the Jewish people, among the kingdom of priests. And in this case, it is the dedication of the Levi'im for sacred service. It starts with HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanding Moshe, saying, take the Levi'im, kach. It later then says that the Levi'im are nitunim, that they are given or certainly given. There's an elaborate ceremony that is involved with their inauguration, but it's the just what is their function and what do we learn from it are the central things that I am going to look at. That they are certainly given, and the commentaries examine this and. This text, it's the springboard for their thinking. And Rashi says concerning kach, take them, he says that Moshe should say to them, Ashrecha, happy you are that you merited to serve in the temple for service of heaven. In the case of nitunim, it's the opposite. You are given. Okay? And the question is, what does it mean by they are given? It's different from someone who is being drafted or tapped into a job. It's more a case of him either volunteering, which is one of the explanations, or that he is given by somebody else to the task. Various commentaries talk about it, the Kli Yakar among them. He also raises up that the issue of kapara, that the Levi'im are an atonement for the Bnei Yisrael. So in terms of them being given over, it's the idea that they have volunteered themselves for this task. And that's the aspect of the Levi'im during the sin of the golden calf, that they remained dedicated, zealous, and loyal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this is their act of volunteering for temple service and a higher service than the rest of the children of Israel. Another idea is that they are the messengers of the Bnei Yisrael, and this is evidenced in that they are given the meiser, the tithes of the Bnei Yisrael, so that they can do their work. They are financially supported. That when you financially support someone in their mission, that person, you are giving over that person to that task. The issue of atonement is that the idea that through them the Bnei Yisrael will find forgiveness from heaven for their sins. The idea of that is the idea of good appointments. That if you have someone who is, or a group of people who are not greatly wise or not greatly righteous, but they make their representative someone who is greatly wise and is greatly righteousness. What this means is that God will look to this, their representative, and say that whatever the foibles of the people are, they have at least chosen a proper leader. And as a result of that, in addition to this person in and of themselves appeasing heaven, it's an indication that he is the leader, he is the example, and that ultimately the people will live up to this example. And that is in fact the direction that they are going in. As a result of that, it's worth it to be charitable and merciful and patient with them. The idea of the Levi'im being a fine choice, to a certain extent, flows from the idea of the firstborn. They were in exchange for the firstborn, because the firstborn should have been the examples in the sin of the golden calf, but they were not. Instead, the Levi'im were. So as a result, they stepped into their place. The idea of the Bechor, which is then flows to the Levi'im, is the idea of an elder. The firstborn child is, by definition, the one who is the most experienced and the one who is the best educated, simply because he has more time. If you take the difference between someone who's in 6th grade and someone who's in 2nd grade, it's only 4 years, but it makes a big difference. That is the idea of the Bechor, that he is appropriate to be a commander and an example. And that's the idea of the Levi'im, that they are meant to be an inspiration and a hope for everyone. It's also another aspect of leadership, and it's the expression in the Gemara, Tuvya chet v'zigud minaged, that Tuvya sinned and Zigud was punished. This is a formula for responsibility. In the case of the Levi'im, they are the gatekeepers. The idea is that there are certain places that not everyone is permitted to go in every situation. So as a result, the Levi'im have to ask, are you a Kohen Levi or Yisrael? Are you Tamei Nes, or this, that, and the other thing? And say, well, you could go this far, but not past that. If it's a case where the Levi'im really are sleeping on the job or derelict in their duty, and as a result of this, these standards are flouted, that they would be punished appropriately. They have been given the power and the ability to be the leaders, but they have shirked it. As a result, it's appropriate for them to be punished when you have errors within the population that really could have been solved by proper leadership if it was administered. The idea of kach, being tapped, is that someone who is going to be really a good leader will know that it demands time, it involves a certain amount of aggravation, and is not going to be so seduced by the idea that everybody's listening to him and he's the center of attention. Therefore, he knows that there is a burden of responsibility and that a person must be sober about it and administer his duties wisely and with dedication.